Welcome to the Visualize Meditations podcast, hosted by your gal pal, Sasha, a Chopra certified meditation teacher, athlete, and adventurer. This is a place where high performance and health meets fulfillment and fun. Each week, I'm bringing you guided visualization meditations and honest solo sessions where I share personal development, my most unhinged stories, and intimate interviews. Whether we're chatting wellness, achievement, or building an aligned community, we're here to create the life of your dreams and have an absolute blast doing it. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Visualize Meditations podcast. It's your gal pal Sasha, and to paint the scene for you right now, I'm currently in Joshua Tree, a couple hours outside of LA with my two childhood best friends. We are here. They've been visiting me for a handful of days. They leave tomorrow. This was a combined birthday trip. So my birthday was this week, and another one of my close childhood friends has a birthday the day before mine. So this is like a combined celebration trip. And we've just been having, honestly, like a jolly old good time, but there have definitely been hiccups along the way. And there have definitely been things that did not turn out the way expected. And there's an emotional component to that where like disappointment can happen or frustration or stress. But at the end of the day, like everything's happening in exactly the way it's supposed to be happening. So this is just something I have to remind myself of currently in this state. But we're here in Joshua Tree, and it's kind of strange to be here in Joshua Tree. I've been here 2 times prior. Once I came with my ex when we were celebrating our 5-year anniversary. And it was a lovely, amazing trip, like just an incredible trip together. And I love this place so much. And there's something so magic about this place. And it just feels so right. The energy here is next level. And it just feels so good to be in this space. And the second time I came, I actually recorded a podcast then too. I was here and staying in Joshua Tree while I was going to Coachella. And I ended up having like a pretty rough experience with the situationship at the time. And we ended up breaking everything off at Coachella and going through a pretty intense like situationship split in Joshua Tree. So my last experience here wasn't the best, but it's nice to be here with my childhood best friends and just having a good time. We're just here for one overnight. If you haven't been to Joshua Tree, it's a really, really amazing spot. The national park is beautiful. The Pioneer Town is really cute. It's definitely, I think I've heard that it's a vortex. So energetically, there's a lot here. And it's just like a bunch of weird, cool hippies. And it's just like a really cool spot. So I'm really happy to be here. And we're going to be heading back to LA today and going to a Dodgers game. And we've just been having a grand old time, at least to go through kind of what's been happening this week. I took the week off for my birthday. I am that bitch. Like, I'm not the bitch that is going to wear the birthday crown or make everyone sing to her at dinner. That's like really not me, but I am someone who celebrates really hard. And birthdays are really important to me, especially taking some time to reflect about where I am this year versus previous years. And I talked about this a little bit more in the solo sessions last week. So if you haven't listened to the birthday magic and like signs from the universe episode, it's there if you want to listen to it. But as far as what's happened since then, my childhood best friends came in. They flew in and we explored around Venice a bit. I took them on my magic bike ride that I do every day. They said that was like such a highlight. We did that. We went out for dinner at a okay spot. We saw the sunset. We went up and got rooftop drinks overlooking the sunset. Next day we got up. We had a whole free LA day to ourselves. So we got up, we went for a workout at Muscle Beach, and then we went and drove around. We went to Malibu. We went to a really gorgeous beach in Malibu. We got some food. And we ended up going to the Griffith Observatory and hiking that just in time for sunset. And it was just all really magic and happening in divine timing. We were just making it right back in time to get to the car 2 minutes before the closing time of the parking lot and just stuff like that. It was all just happening so beautifully and so magically. We ended up going to Koreatown to get some food and then going to like a really famous dive bar on Sunset Boulevard, which was not really my vibe, but I was there to hang. I can always rally. Yesterday, we ended up getting up, having a surf lesson in the morning, getting our shit together, seeing the Venice canals with my pals, hitting that farmer's market, and then driving out to Joshua Tree. And yesterday we explored our Josh Treat a little bit. We went to the national park. We went to the Pioneer Town. We've just been driving around with our really cool Jeep. We got a Jeep convertible truck, which, oh my God, my dream. I don't want the Jeep convertible truck, but I have a dream of having a white Jeep Wrangler. It's something I've wanted for so long. So that's definitely the car I'll buy for myself. I also want a Porsche. Everything's going to happen in divine timing exactly the way it's supposed to. So no rush there. Also, if I'm going back to Venice, then I won't need a car for at least a little bit. But I've definitely landed on the fact that Venice is the place for me and LA is the place for me, at least for the time being, which I'm like about halfway through my time in LA and I feel really sad to leave. I don't want to leave this life. And there have only been a couple of times I've said that. Number one was Paris. Well, I felt that way about Miami before I left. But it took me like a year and a half to kind of warm up to Miami and feel like I had friends and community and things like that. And then when I came to LA, I had this warm, fuzzy feeling. I was like, ooh, I really love the life here. And it's not just the love of life here, it's I love who I am in this place. I love how I'm showing up in my own life in this place where I prioritize movement and health and wellness and creativity and entrepreneurship and spirituality. It's like luxury hippies, which is exactly who I am. I'm a fucking luxury hippie. I'm like a meditation teacher that loves to party. I'm a hippie that loves material goods and luxury. There's a paradoxes there, but I feel like LA is definitely the spot. And I'm, sad to be leaving in a month, but I'm really excited to come back. And right now, there's a lot of uncertainty about areas of my life right now. And I'm just trying to sort out how it's all working and how it's all going to fall into place. And I think as soon as I move forward with what I'm looking at, everything's going to click into place exactly the way it's supposed to. The closer I'm getting to making this big change in my life, more and more synchronicities that are coming up, the more and more opportunities that are opening up for me. And everything is just falling into place so perfectly in ways that I didn't expect. And it's really just like a beautiful thing. I'm kind of experiencing a couple of hiccups with the people in my life. I've never felt so fulfilled in my relationships. I feel incredibly fulfilled in my friendships and in my family relationships. And right now in my romance life, things are going well, but I'm experiencing a couple hiccups. And for me, as I'm getting clearer about what I want in my life, I'm now looking around at the people around me and I'm like, do I want to be like you? Because if you are who you surround yourself with, the people you surround yourself with are the people you love and care about the most. Are they people that you want to emulate parts of their lives? And if the answer is yes, great. And the answer is no, okay, maybe it's time to move where they are in your concentric circles of friends. And if you haven't listened to the Making Aligned Friends episode, go back and listen where I kind of explain my theory around concentric circles and circles of people in your life. But maybe if someone's like closer, they need to move further back. Or maybe if someone's further back and you want to be more like them, you need to move them closer to your inner circle. And this is something that's always constantly changing. It is never in one position for the rest of forever. People move all the time. People move in these concentric circles. People will change their roles in your life. And something I've talked about with Josh Glanville a lot on the Mastermind Moments podcast is people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. My caveats to that are, number one, you have no idea which one until after the fact. And number two, you can't control it. There's absolutely no way, but all I can do is just observe and be like, oh, okay, this person is doing something that doesn't quite align with how I would live my life. Okay. Is that something that is kind of a deal breaker for me? Yes or no? If it is, why? If it's not, why not? And just like seriously thinking about that and being really thoughtful about who you're letting in your energy. And I'm kind of getting to a point now that I haven't been before, where before I was really, I don't want to say desperate for connection, but a little bit. I think I was feeling really, really lonely in my life for a while. I was settling for treatment in my relationships because I just craved love and community and connection so badly that I was settling and accepting treatment that was not what I deserve. Now I want to be way more thoughtful because at the end of the day, like, spending time with myself is also a very viable option, and in some ways the best option out there. If like someone is not aligning with my values or not aligning with how I deserve to be treated, maybe it looks like, okay, maybe I need to spend a little bit more time with myself. Maybe I need to go a little bit more inward and work on myself a little bit more and nurture the relationship with myself, because some of these relationships aren't really aligning in the ways that make sense. So that's something I've been sitting on and thinking about a lot. I also want to note too that I was having a chat with my childhood best friend last night about this exactly. And he's like, yeah, well, I don't want to just base it on career, because I don't want to just be like, oh, I'm only going to hang out with you if you're more successful than me or make more money than me. And I'm like, no, it's not necessarily that. Like, that is a piece of it. Sure. Like, you definitely want to walk into a room and feel like the least successful person in there, because then that's how you know it's the right room. But it's not necessarily about that. Like, maybe someone is, sure, more successful in their career, make more money, and I want to be around them, cool. But also, I want to look at that in all areas of life. Like, how are they showing up in their health? How are they showing up in their relationships? How are they showing up in their mindset when things go poorly? How are they showing up in their spirituality? How are they showing up in their contribution or their physical environment? Are they pursuing something beyond the life that was prescribed to them in whatever area? It doesn't need to just be career or finances. It can be any area. Like, I have a friend that I'm really inspired by the way that they show fierce love and loyalty to their relationships and how they approach their career and their finances. But I am not interested in how they approach their health. And I'm not interested in their mindset around when things go badly and when things go wrong, and like values in that way. So it's okay to just not have someone align perfectly 100%, but I want to look at the people around me and be like, I'm inspired by this aspect of that person's life or this aspect of that person's being, and I want to be a little bit more like them, because really, like, you are what you associate with, and that is not just true of the people in your life, but everything in your life. It is true of what you put into your body. It is true about where you live, what you put on your body, where you spend your time, where you spend your energy, where you spend your money. It's all true. You are what you associate yourself with, and that's everything: time, money, energy, all of it. So I want to be more thoughtful and strategic about, like, okay, what's the life I want to create and build for myself, and what are the decisions I need to make in order to align myself more clearly with that vision, and where do I need to cut energy leaks, where do I need to cut drains that are taking me further away from where I want to go. And that's just something I'm getting really thoughtful about currently. And I don't know, it's like a really exciting time in my life, because everything feels very transitional, but at the same time, it feels like all of this is happening in divine timing. And it's funny because I've been telling my two childhood best friends, they're two boys, okay? I was telling them my crazy signs from the universe and like my crazy gut instincts about things, and they're boys, right? Like, it's just different. I find that since I've been in LA, I've been way more magic centric and really putting so much love and faith and gratitude into my trust with the universe and my relationship with the universe. And honestly, the universe is talking to me too. Hi, universe, if you're out there, I know you're listening. um I know the universe is one of my fucking listeners. Can you but I've just been having all these magic signs, and I was telling my friends that, and they're like, yeah, but like, you might be acting a little reckless or irrational, or like you're basing all of this off some crazy quote gut magic intuition, but like, where's your logic? Are you being realistic? And I'm like, yeah, the logic part is sure a piece, like the logistics of life is a piece, but I just want to live my life having complete faith and trust in the universe that everything is going to work out exactly the way it's supposed to, and just following the fucking signs. Like, just following the signs of what needs to happen and just trusting. And sometimes that's really fucking scary. Sometimes that's really fucking scary, especially when you don't have a lot of certainty about what's happening, or especially if you don't have a lot of certainty around your life or certain areas of your life. Like, of course, that's going to be stressful. And honestly, everyone I know right now in my life is kind of going through a transitional phase where maybe they're changing careers or physical locations, or radical changes in their health or their relationships. Like, I'm seeing everyone in my life kind of have these radical shifts in their identity, and it's a really beautiful thing to see. And, you know, year of the horse, right? I know a lot of people going through this right now, but it's just something really cool to see and watch about how people take the new adventure of life and how they run with it, you know, and how they approach it For me personally, it's like super exciting and super scary, but I just want to have trust and faith in the universe that everything's going to work out and be okay with that and move towards the life of my dreams, honestly. Guys, something else I want to mention too is, I do 1 to 2 difficult things every single year. I've talked an entire episode about that. But something is I'm almost halfway through not drinking any caffeine, and oh my God, I miss it every day. I miss it every day. But my anxiety levels have definitely dropped significantly. It is true, but I do miss it. Some feedback I've been getting in my life, and not just from one source, but from multiple sources, is to stop, pause, and think before I act, and not try to boil the entire ocean. Basically, to take a second, to pause, to think, to say, okay, think about the game plan before jumping in, and to slow down, to speed up, to pause, take a beat, take a stop, take a rest, and then to move forward. And in a lot of ways, the way I've been traveling has kind of recently this year has kind of felt like that, where it's like, okay, I had to slow down to get my surgery, and I slowed down in San Diego, and I've been slowing down in LA, where my life has literally just been work and bike rides, and that's all it's been. It's a pretty cool thing. All right, y'all. The TLDR is that everything's happening exactly the way it's supposed to, and you might not know the reason at the time, but at the end of the day, there's a lesson, or there's a greater reason, and it might be in hindsight that it's very clear. Just trusting that that's what it is, and being okay with that, and resolving it in whatever way makes sense to you, and just moving forward. But everything is happening for you and not to you. So that's the TLDR of this. Anyway, I gotta run. We're going to hang out. We're gonna go explore some Joshua Tree, hang out a bit, and then we'll catch you guys next week on the Visualize Meditations podcast. If you guys could follow along, leave a comment, testimonial, feedback, questions, anything, a huge help. And it means so much, honestly. Like, the way when I get texts and messages and DMs from you guys telling me that you love an episode, or you love a meditation, or have a request or a question, it honestly makes my whole day. This is the reason I do what I do. So I'm really excited about that. And please help out any way you can. It helps way more than you know. Anyway, y'all, we'll see you guys next week on the Visualize Meditations podcast. And yeah, all right, bye. I hope today's episode left you feeling inspired and aligned. Make sure you're following the show so you never miss out on our weekly meditations or solo chats. I love connecting with you guys. Let's talk on Instagram and TikTok at Visualize Meditations, and we will catch you guys next week on the Visualize Meditations podcast. Bye.